The sky turned red without warning. Birds stopped flying. The ground began to shake just a little, but enough to make people look up. On the peaceful colony of Kepler 22b, no one knew what was coming. But something felt wrong. Very wrong. Children were playing in the park. A mother laughed with her baby, then everything went quiet. No wind, no sound. Just silence. Suddenly dark shapes appeared in the sky. Huge ships, not from Earth. They didn't shoot. They just floated above the cities like giants watching ants. People screamed. Panic spread fast. The colony sent out a distress signal to Earth. On Earth, inside a military base, a red alert flashed. A soldier whispered, "We're too late." Back on Kepler 22b, a school building exploded. No warning, no mercy. Dust and fire filled the air. It had begun. The attackers were the Dravans, an alien race that thought humans were weak. They believed humanity feared war. But they made one mistake. They woke the sleeping lion. And now, humanity was going to show them what real fear looked like. The Dravans watched from orbit, proud of their attack. To them, it was a small test, a warning. They believed humans would beg for peace. They laughed in their war rooms, thinking Earth was too afraid to fight back. But they didn't understand humanity. Back on Earth, leaders gathered in silence. The images from Kepler 22b played on every screen. Burning cities, crying children, broken homes. No one spoke. Then the Supreme Commander stood up and said only one word: prepare. In a secret base deep under the ice of Antarctica, old war programs came to life. The Leviathan Protocol, once thought too dangerous to use, was activated. Huge files unlocked, hidden weapons powered up after years of sleep. The Dravans had made a deadly mistake. They thought humans were slow because Earth didn't respond instantly. But humans weren't afraid. They were planning something bigger. Meanwhile, the Dravan fleet received a strange message. No name, no source, just 2 words. "We're coming." Panic spread through their command. For the first time, the Dravans felt something they hadn't known in centuries: fear. The Dravans searched the stars, looking for signs of movement. But space was quiet, too quiet. They couldn't detect any large fleets from Earth. No warning, no sound. It confused them. They didn't know Earth had sent the Ghost Fleet. Long ago, humanity had built powerful warships, machines so deadly they were banned by every peace treaty. These ships had no crew, only AI minds cold enough to make decisions faster than any human. When peace came, they were hidden beneath oceans, inside moons and deep under deserts, forgotten. Until now, one by one, the Ghost Fleet activated. Deep under the surface of Mars, metal giants broke through the ground. In the dark waters of Europa, black ships rose like sea monsters. A massive warship the size of a city flew from inside Saturn's rings. The Dravans intercepted a human signal. 3 words this time: Ghost Fleet online. Their generals laughed nervously. "Stories," one said. "Old Earth legends. But legends can be real." And when a shadow blocked out the stars, above their command ship, they realized the Ghost Fleet was no story. It was the end. The Dravans still believed they had time. They still believed humans were slow, scared, soft. Their fleets floated near colonies, proud and confident, no defenses raised, no alarms. Then, without a sound, a Dravan outpost vanished. One moment it was there. Ships, buildings, thousands of soldiers. The next, it was gone. No explosion, just silence and ash. In space, a Ghost Fleet ship floated alone. From its dark hull, a thin beam had fired, silent, invisible, perfect. Panic spread through the Dravan systems. Communications failed. Ships lost control. power grids crashed. Human cyber war units had already taken over. In the middle of the chaos, a message appeared on every Dravan screen. "This is your warning." But no one could answer. Their systems were locked, their ships couldn't move. Then 3 more Dravan bases disappeared in seconds. The strikes were clean, brutal, unstoppable. One Dravan commander shouted, "We were supposed to be the hunters." Another replied, trembling, "We are the prey now." Above their capital moon, a human AI captain whispered through the speakers, "We warned you once." And now, humanity had only just begun. Across the galaxy, Dravan citizens watched in horror. News reports showed cities erased, fleets destroyed, and entire planets silenced. The proud Dravan Empire, once the terror of the stars, was falling apart. Leaders tried to speak to the public, but their voices shook. Every time they sent out a command, it was intercepted. Human messages kept appearing on their screens. "You started this, we will finish it." Dravan generals gathered in secret. Some wanted to fight, some wanted to run. None had answers. In one dark war room, a video played on loop, a single human soldier walking calmly through a destroyed base. Behind him, everything burned. No words, just footsteps. The message was clear. One high-ranking Dravan whispered, "This isn't defense. This is judgment." On a quiet planet, human drop pods fell from the sky. They didn't land with noise. They landed with purpose. No warning, no mercy. They left behind only one message, burned into the ground. This is only the beginning. Now even the bravest Dravans spoke in whispers. The galaxy was starting to realize humanity wasn't just fighting back. It was delivering justice. The galaxy watched in silence as the Dravan Empire crumbled, once powerful, now helpless. Their calls for help echoed into space, but no one answered. Old allies who once praised Dravan's strength turned away. They had seen the human response. They had seen what Earth could do with cold, brutal precision. No one wanted to be next. The Zaraki, known for their massive warships, quietly removed their flags from Dravan embassies. The Thralons, once trade partners, shut their gates. Even the ancient Vari ascendancy, a race older than Earth itself, refused to speak. One message was sent to Earth from a peaceful species known as the Inari. Their words were simple: "Please, show mercy." Inside Earth's command center, the Supreme Commander read it in silence. He turned to his officers and said coldly, "Mercy was yesterday." Meanwhile, on a Dravan moon, a human fleet arrived without sound. The Dravan soldiers raised their weapons, but nothing came. No fire, no noise, just a human drone hovering above them, repeating the same phrase over and over. "You should have left us alone." Now the galaxy understood. The Dravans made one last effort to fight back. They gathered what was left of their fleets, armed their strongest weapons, and launched a counterattack. But nothing worked. The missiles launched, then turned back, mid-flight. Human cyber war units had already taken control. Defense systems refused to respond. Dravan ships blinked off one by one, as if erased from reality. In space, human warships moved without fear, silent, calculated, unstoppable. Inside a Dravan command center, alarms screamed, officers shouted over each other, screens went dark. Then, a new signal appeared, one they had never seen before. 2 chilling words: Judgment Day. It was a human virus, designed not to destroy systems, but to humiliate. Draven screens lit up with every failure, every loss, every broken promise of power. Their own people began to riot. Citizens begged for surrender. Soldiers dropped their weapons, but it was too late. In the sky above the Dravan homeworld, a massive human dreadnought appeared, black, silent, and watching. One Dravan general looked up and whispered, "This is no longer a war. This is punishment. And the real punishment was only beginning. The Dravan fleet gathered one final time at the edge of their homeworld's orbit. Their ships were battered and tired, but their crews were determined. They would fight to the last breath. On Earth, Admiral Rayner watched their approach. His face was calm, but his eyes were sharp. He sent a message to the Dravan commanders. Surrender now and end this without more blood. The Dravans refused. The sky grew dark as the two fleets prepared to clash. But before a single shot was fired, a silent weapon activated deep inside the Dravan planet. A secret weapon Earth had kept hidden for years. The Omega Core. It glowed with power, bright as a star. Then, with no sound, it fired a beam that cut through the Dravan capital city. Buildings crumbled, shields failed, and chaos spread. The Dravan commanders screamed orders, but it was too late. Their defenses were gone. Admiral Rayner gave the order. Pull back. The message has been sent. In the quiet aftermath, a young human soldier asked, "Will they come back?" The admiral looked out at the stars and said quietly, "Not after that. Humanity never forgets. And never forgives." The Omega Core's beam had shattered the Dravan capital. The planet was broken, but not destroyed. It was a warning, a message carved deep into their world. The Dravans watched in horror as their cities burned and their fleets retreated. They had never seen power like this before. It was cold, it was quick, it was final. Human ships withdrew silently, leaving the shattered planet behind. No celebration, no cheers, only a quiet, deadly calm. Back on Earth, leaders watched the news. Some whispered of peace, others prepared for what might come next. But humanity had spoken clearly. The galaxy would never forget this moment. A young soldier staring at the stars said softly, "They thought humans feared war, but we ended it in one brutal strike." And somewhere far away, the Dravans knew it was true. The war was over. But the fear, it had only just begun. The galaxy changed forever after the brutal strike. No one dared challenge Earth again, not because they wanted peace, but because they feared humanity. Across distant stars, whispers spread. Humans don't start wars, they end them. Alien leaders met in secret, afraid to speak openly. The story of Earth's power became a warning, a legend born in fire and silence. On Earth, people returned to their lives, but they never forgot the cost. The young soldier who saw the destruction said, "We don't fear war. War fears us now." The stars were quiet again, but the silence was different. It was filled with respect and fear. Humanity had won. But the galaxy knew this. The next time war came, humanity would be ready, and nothing would stop them. Because now, fear had a new name: humanity.